is a country embraced with blossoming colors of ethnicity and eternity. A country drenched in shower of celebrations and festivals, where happiness shimmers in lives of people, whose backbone are the farmers who toil hard day and night, ensuring food security and economic stability for country. Agriculture and its related sectors are one of the major contributors to the Indian economy, which accounts to about 17.1%. According to a report of Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, the total area under rice cultivation was about 433.88 lakh hectare, which makes India the second largest producer of rice in the world, preceded only by China. It is one of the major sources of carbohydrate in our meal, which is one of the most important nutrient required for our body. Rice is the most demanded crop as various cuisines favorites of Indian people. Thus, it becomes an essential part of our lifestyle as many auspicious festivals are also celebrated, marking the importance of it in our culture and tradition.
Our paddy crops used to get destroyed each year, and we all were bound to live our lives in miseries. Each year, cyclone used to destroy our standing crops. As our rice crops weren't resistant to these natural calamities, we used to suffer huge losses. Bacterial leaf blight was a great concern. These bacteria-borne diseases used to destroy our hectares of land. Finding an alternative to the traditional rice crop was a matter of huge concern for us. We wanted a type of rice that needs less investment and time. It should give us some profit. Yearly yield may also save some money.
Vast and lush green fields of rice are a beauty to behold. Its delicious and nutritious shining white grains in our food plates are the wonderful gift of Mother Nature to entire humanity. Scientifically called Oryza sativa, rice is the major crop species on which relies the food security of the world. Being an integral part of Indian meals, rice is staple food for nearly 65% of Indian population. Hence, it's a favorite of Indian farmers due to high demand and lucrative market prices. Currently, nearly 4,000 varieties of rice are cultivated on Indian soils, of which some have local existence, whereas some have popularity in specific states or many states. Specific rice varieties thrive well under specific climatic conditions which include average temperature, day length, humidity, wind conditions and soil type, etc. Hence, a popular variety in a region may not perform well in other regions. Samba Mahsuri is one such specific and popular rice variety chiefly grown in southern states of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka over an area of 1 to 2 million hectares. Samba Mahsuri is a fine grain variety with good cooking quality and taste. Hence fetch attractive market prices. Being a high-priced variety, it's equally popular among farmers, millers and consumers. Its yield is also good and satisfying.
We cultivate paddy. We need to have a good yield of the crop that can give us some profit to support our family. We need a proper livelihood. We want to educate our children. But most of the times what we think does not happen in reality. We feel helpless in such situations. The older variety of Samba Mahsuri was prevalent amongst us. as it was popular and favorite amongst the consumers. But there were many challenges and issues with the older variety. It was difficult for us to continue. On the other hand, Improved Samba Mahsuri has innumerable special features that addressed the difficulties we have faced with the older variety. Because of many advantages, the Improved Samba Mahsuri slowly made its presence. It is better than many existing varieties of rice.
The disease problem with Samba Mahsuri had been an issue of concern for scientists, especially in southern region. The two national apex bodies of scientific research, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research CSIR and the Indian Council of Agricultural Research ICAR joined hands together to undertake a collaborative project to find out a scientifically sound and farmer-friendly solution.
Samba Mahsuri is a very popular rice variety developed by scientists at the Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University in Hyderabad. This was done way back in the 1980s. This variety has retained popularity over 3 decades with farmers and consumers alike because it has exceptional quality and yield characteristics. Because of these exceptional qualities that the variety possesses, both farmers want to grow it and consumers are interested in eating it.
CSIR Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology CCMB and ICAR's Indian Institute of Rice Research IIRR, erstwhile Directorate of Rice Research, both located at Hyderabad, conceived a project and roadmap to meet the target by sharing responsibilities in the specific areas of expertise. In the deliberations between two institutes, it was resolved to improve the Samba Mahsuri by biotechnological intervention. CCMB will be mainly responsible for the molecular analysis, while IIRR will take the role of plant breeding. Molecular analysis is one of the most important and revolutionary scientific intervention which is used to study the internal structure of bacteria and other cells that are harmful for various crops. DNA and RNA patterns that carry specific information are examined and diagnosed to understand the pattern and function that causes severe bacterial-borne diseases in plants and crops, from which ways to develop a new and bacterial-resistant variety could be developed.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Plant breeding is an enhanced scientific technique in which scientists carry out researches and series of experiments to get a desired trait plant crop. In this method, the dominant traits of particular plant are taken, which is assimilated, and other dominant characteristics of some other plants, and such experimental steps lead to development of a desired feature crop, which shall be extremely useful for the mankind. So, the plant breeding has enabled us to develop new and improved version of Samba Mahsuri rice. Hence, importance of plant breeding can be enlisted as increases the crop yield, improves the quality of crop, increases the tolerance of environmental conditions like salinity, extreme temperatures and drought, development of pathogens-resistant crop, increases tolerance against pests and insects.
In the 1990s, a new technology came up called marker assisted selection, where you do away with the phenotypic evaluation, that is looking at the plants in the field and deciding what the characteristic is, or by inoculating with the pathogen and finding out whether it is resistant or susceptible. So this technology was, you would use DNA marker technology to identify within a large population of plants which plants have the desired characteristics. So we developed a elaborate breeding program where we use DNA markers to identify those plants that have the bacterial blight resistance characteristics and those that have likely to have the yield and quality of Samba Mahsuri. This we did over several generations of crossing and ultimately came up with this product called Improved Samba Mahsuri that has bacterial blight resistance and has the yield and quality characteristics of Samba Mahsuri.
ICAR funded this research project under its ambitious National Agricultural Technology Project, whereas CSIR Lab got the financial support from its CSIR 800 program, which is a flagship project aiming the socio-economic enhancement of 800 million Indians who live in rural areas or constitute the urban poor. Scientists adopted strategies to improve Samba Mahsuri rice to make it resistant to bacterial leaf blight disease in the improved version by gene marker technology or marker-assisted selection. Marker-assisted selection is one of the most important and latest technique used today in development of new varieties. So DNA, RNA that carry specific hereditary characteristics are selected through marker-assisted selection, and such markers from different plants are sampled or incorporated into one. This is a long process which requires series of steps carried out in laboratory where researchers deeply study. But the challenge was to keep the desirable traits of Samba Mahsuri intact. A dedicated team of scientists of both institutions initiated work in the sophisticated laboratories in 1999. Latest tools and cutting-edge technologies were used to get best results. The new variety thus developed was aptly named as Improved Samba Mahsuri ISM, and laboratory tests were conducted to observe and evaluate its characteristics and yield.
There are trained personnel or experienced personnel at the Indian Institute of Rice Research who can tell whether a variety is Samba Mahsuri or not Samba Mahsuri by just tasting it. So we cooked Samba Mahsuri and Improved Samba Mahsuri, gave it to them, and they could not tell which is Samba Mahsuri and which is Improved Samba Mahsuri. On that day we thought that we had achieved success in our project.
After getting satisfactory results, field trials started in 2005-2006 in multi-location settings across the climatic zones. Field trials were conducted for 2 years in 10 selected locations across the country under the supervision of All India Coordinated Rice Improvement Project.
Okay, we have developed Improved Samba Mahsuri. It has now gone through the national field trials. Indian Council of Agricultural Research had tested it rigorously, and they had indicated now that Improved Samba Mahsuri was bacterial blight resistance and had the yield and quality of Samba Mahsuri.
ISM variety proved its worth in field trials by showing resistance to bacterial leaf blight and retaining all the good characteristics of its predecessor variety, Samba Mahsuri. A new era was just to begin. On the recommendations of Scientific Committee, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India notified ISM in 2008 for commercial cultivation in several states, mainly in undivided Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Subsequently, the variety was also registered with the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Authority (PPV) and FRA, Government of India, to protect the right of plant breeders.
After the Government of India declared ISM for commercial cultivation, we all had a big task to promote it to every farmer all across the state to switch over to cultivate Improved Samba Mahsuri rice. It was a big challenge for all of us. Farmers were sowing the older varieties and were reluctant to switch over to new. To motivate them, we started with the free seed distribution in small districts. Slowly and gradually, we succeeded. farmers also noticed that the older variety of rice was destroyed by Hudhud cyclone. However, farmers who cultivated improved Samba Mahsuri rice were delighted to see that their crop was not affected much after the cyclone. The crop is also resistant to various diseases. This proved out to be a watershed moment, and most of the farmers shifted to ISM.
Thus, scientists provided a viable, effective and improved option to farmers who were struggling with Samba Mahsuri due to devastating bacterial leaf blight disease. In the areas of severe bacterial blight infestation, ISM gives 15 to 30% more yield than any other bacterial blight susceptible variety. Additionally, it has some other benefits also from farmers' perspective. An additional benefit of ISM was observed in the Nandyal area of Andhra Pradesh, where this variety also showed tolerance to bacterial leaf streak disease, a rare characteristic in other rice varieties. In view of increasing popularity of improved Samba Mahsuri rice variety, another renowned scientific institute at Hyderabad, the National Institute of Nutrition (NIN), a constituent of the Indian Council of Medical Research, tried to explore its nutritional advantage for diabetic patients. NIN performed extensive human trials on the new variety improved Samba Mahsuri to find out its glycemic index, which is a critical parameter and of immense value for diabetic patients.
Last year, National Institute of Nutrition Hyderabad, they reported through clinical trial that the GI value of improved Samba Mahsuri rice is 50.99. Any food products, the GI value is less than 55, that is considered low GI food, and that is considered good for the diabetics. So with this new trait that improved Samba Mahsuri is low GI rice, we are trying to license with the different companies.
Foods with higher glycemic index are not suitable for diabetic patients, but this variety has low GI of 50.99, which is among the lowest for several rice varieties tested. Generally, GI of rice varieties fall within the range of 53 to 69. Hence, it has a clear edge over other varieties and we can call it diabetic-friendly rice.
Low glycemic index is a way of comparing how a particular food can increase, or the levels, how much it increases blood sugar in comparison with pure glucose. So we generally classify any food less than 55 as low glycemic index food, between 55 to 70 as medium glycemic index foods, and above 70 as high glycemic index foods. So it is better that the child or the entire family shifts to low glycemic index foods.
Indeed, a good news for growing number of diabetics in India who are likely to benefit from this special quality of ISM.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
After the release of ISM for commercial cultivation, concerted efforts were made to popularize ISM among farmers. During initial phase, Krishi Vigyan Kendra's KVKs of ICAR played a critical role in its outreach by organizing frontline demonstrations, FLDs, in farmer fields.
We conceptualized that if we give about 10 kg test samples of improved Samba Mahsuri to farmers in these areas where bacterial blight is a problem and Samba Mahsuri is being cultivated. So we identified several regions in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh and Uttar Pradesh where this happens. Initially we made a major focus in the state of Andhra Pradesh, where in two particular districts called East Godavari and Kurnool, Samba Mahsuri was cultivated and bacterial blight was a big problem. So we gave 10 kg seed samples of improved Samba Mahsuri to farmers. It turned out that they were very happy with it and they started distributing it to other farmers, and that is how the variety has spread from farmer to farmer.
But the real watershed moment came in 2014 after the devastating cyclone Hudhud in November. A severe epidemic of bacterial blight gripped rice fields of East Godavari district. As expected, the fields where ISM was grown survived the onslaught of the disease, while the fields of farmers who grew Samba Mahsuri were severely affected by the disease and suffered huge loss. This incident provided fresh impetus to the popularity of ISM. Bacterial leaf blight is one of the serious concerns faced by rice crops, especially as they easily spread through waterlogging, and rice crop is thus most susceptible towards it. It is spread by a particular bacteria called Xanthomonas oryzae, which attacks the root of the rice plant, and slowly the plant turns yellow and gets flattened. It spreads from plant to plant, so it mostly affects hectares of land, severely affecting the yield and crops. Hence, it became mandatory to find out a permanent solution for such a problem majorly affecting each and every farmer.
Every year, cultivating rice is our primary focus. Varieties like Samba Mahsuri, Swarna, etc. were chiefly grown. But the problem was that we used to face many natural calamities, like Hudhud cyclone, that was devastating and destroyed all our standing crops. That loss was a great setback to us. Since then, we have never looked back, and switching to ISM was a complete change of lives for all our farmers.
No wonder, new improved Samba Mahsuri is now being cultivated over more than 1.30 lakh hectares of area covering Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra and Bihar.
One of the interesting features of improved Samba Mahsuri is its hard and then thick stem. Many farmers who are growing improved Samba Mahsuri in East Godavari area, Andhra Pradesh, noticed that after the cyclone Hudhud hit East Godavari, Visakhapatnam and other districts, while other varieties like Samba Mahsuri and Swarna were totally flattened because of heavy winds and heavy rain and subsequently bacterial blight disease, only improved Samba Mahsuri stayed and then it gave good yields. This is an added feature, and we have been observing that after 2014, after the aftermath of the cyclone Hudhud, we are finding increasing demand from farmers for this particular variety.
The total turnover of farmers is approximately Rs 600 crores. Each farmer family is being provided 10 kilograms of seeds free of cost during farmers' meet. In view of the much acclaimed impact of ISM on socio-economic life of farmers, CCMB and DRR were jointly honored by the prestigious CSIR Award for S&T Innovations for Rural Development 2013. Again, the duo won the coveted Biotech Product and Process Development and Commercialization Award in 2016. Scientists associated with this ambitious project also got prestigious recognitions and honors. But the collaborative program is still on with new aims and new targets.
The improved Samba Mahsuri is not only resistant to bacterial blight, completely resistant to bacterial blight, which gives farmers advantage of 20 to 40% in the yield. It is also turns out to be one of the lowest glycemic index variety. So the glycemic index of this rice is 50.9, which means people who are suffering from diabetes can eat this rice safely. So this means now farmers can not only improve their yield by avoiding the disease, they can also sell this rice at a higher cost, because this will be more valuable. In addition to its taste and other fine qualities, it's a low glycemic index.
A new and further enhanced version of ISM is in offing. Superior version will bid and due to major diseases of rice. We will have a disease-free rice variety which farmers always cherished. Future of Samba Mahsuri farming is bright and promising.